Hello and welcome back to another Motherhood Monday. I just got back from the pool with the boys and their cousins, and we all had a good time, and Mama got to soak up some much needed vitamin D. And that's the topic that I wanted to share with you today. Vitamin D is a very important nutrient for many reasons, and actually I wanted to talk about vitamin D for infants. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say that this is what I'm about to share is just my personal research and experience. It's not intended to replace a medical advice, but nonetheless, I'm going to share and I'm going to provide links for you to do your own research. So I came across this study about how vitamin D helps babies grow not just healthy bones but also healthy muscle. And here I'm going to share with you an excerpt. It says, "We are very intrigued by the higher lean mass and the possibility that vitamin D can help infants grow both healthy skeletons and amounts of muscle and yet less fat." So there's another reason right there for the importance of vitamin D in little babies. Now, when one of the first pediatric visits I took Moses to, weren't too concerned about supplementing him with vitamin D because we were going to be moving down south to the islands, and so we weren't too worried about him then. But since we have decided to make our stay here in the States permanent, I realized I need to start looking into vitamin D supplementation. So I asked the doctor, and the first thing that they prescribed or they suggested was polyvisol. And I tried to give it to Moses, and once I got it down him, his little body completely rejected. He threw up, diarrhea, everything. He had to get that out of his system. So, and poor thing, it really doesn't taste good. And so this was not successful. And so after that, I decided, well, let's just try to do it the old-fashioned way, let's get out in the sun. But little babies can't have direct sun exposure. And actually that direct sun exposure, the one that makes your skin kind of pink, that's what allows your body to manufacture that vitamin D. So that really wasn't quite as effective. So I asked the doctor at our last pediatrician appointment to recommend vitamin D drops, if there was just the vitamin D drops. And so I tried him with that. Same story, he completely rejected it. And then I also, that same day actually that I went to see the pediatrician, I saw a study that was done for lactating moms and vitamin D, and I'm going to share with you an excerpt from that. It says that human breast milk is a very poor source of vitamin D. It usually contains less than 50 IU per quart, and this is why the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics, recommends all breastfed infants receive 400 IU per day of vitamin D by supplement drops. But this is not a defect in breast milk, but a defect in the recommendation of vitamin D the lactating mom should be taking. If a mom takes 6,400 IU per day, she will supply her nursing infant with plenty of vitamin D through her milk and will not need to give her infant drops. So that was really good news for me. And I just knew that all I had to do was up my vitamin D intake. And so I'm going to show you what I take now. This is my pre and postnatal vitamin supplement that has everything on there. And then I take about 6 of these to come up to about 7,000 IU per day, just to make sure that my baby gets vitamin D. And I talked to the pediatrician about it, who was familiar with the study, and so she gave me a little nod of approval with that, since he is breastfeeding on demand and he's doing very well. And he did really well in his checkup. I'll go ahead and update you on that. He is 15 pounds, 9 ounces, and 24 inches long. And he is hitting all his milestones and just doing really well. They congratulated me again for breastfeeding on demand and just doing a good job with him. So he is happy and thriving. And I want to share a little update from Isaac, and actually this is a little bit of a brag. But in the evening, our bedtime ritual, after bath time and after Isaac brushes his teeth, then we sit down and we read several little storybooks together. So I had Moses in my lap. He was sitting on the boppy with his back toward me, and we were looking at this book all together. And so Moses must have been too full, and his tummy got a little squished, and so he threw up. And Isaac sprang into action. I didn't have to say a word. He jumped down and went to the drawer and got a burp cloth and came and dabbed his little brother's mouth. And I was just so amazed. All I could say is, Isaac, you are such a good big brother. Thank you for knowing exactly what to do. I really appreciate your help. And so he is just being such a good big brother. Okay, easy.
Hey, sis.
He said, easy, boy. That's my cheeks.
Hey, little G.
Okay. And I still have to remind them and make sure I watch and really not leave them alone together. But they're doing wonderful, and we're just so proud of them. So I hope what I share with you was very helpful and very useful, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Hey, little G.
Okay.